Hello, hello. Welcome to the stream, y'all. Welcome to the stream, y'all. Katy Parry here. How's it going? Thanks so much for tuning in today. So today we've got a Metafy lesson with one of my students. And well, obviously, who else would it be with? I've got a Metafy lesson with my mom. She wanted to play. So today, we're sort of waiting on my student at the moment. Their appointment was at 4, but they entered an online tourney, and they're in grand finals. It's one that they made themselves, so it was only 20 people. So I told them that I would stall for a little bit. So my camera is actually off. Today I woke up and I was just like, you know what? I would rather get a little bit more sleep and not try to rush myself trying to get ready. And I just didn't feel like it today. After this, I'm going to be going to the gym, and usually I shower after the gym, but if I do a Metafy lesson, I usually get up and do that first. Then I go to the gym, so I've showered twice within 2 hours. And I like being cleanly just as much as the next person, but sometimes I don't feel like, I guess I just don't feel like
Zelda.
putting too much into it. So yeah. I think Inkling is fine. I think Inkling's still pretty hard. I think it's easy to understand what to do against Inkling. And I don't think Inkling is as oppressive as Fox. But they can be. Hi, Mason. How are you?
3, 2, 1, go!
I don't know where they were holding. Be able to turn around in time. I'm doing good, Mason. I'm doing good. It's nice to see you. Well, figuratively speaking. Yeah, I think Fox is a very rough matchup for Zelda. I think it's doable. As Ben has proven at the highest level. Well, I guess not the highest level, right? But I mean, to me it's the highest level. Because the chances of having to go against Light in grand finals with Zelda at a major is pretty rough to get to. But Ven beating the next best, in my experience, one of the next best Foxes, which is Comet, does say something about the fact that it can be done. But it is incredibly rough. It is incredibly rough. Okay, so Chef wants me to join. I don't know if I missed this message. Oh yeah, I probably way missed it. But it looks like they're fighting still in Grands and they want me to what?
Step into the ring.
All right, so they're already in a match. So we'll wait and we'll watch the next fight that they have. But yeah, y'all, I'm excited. I'm going to Riptide this coming weekend. It'll be my first major since May. And there's I think 800 entrants. I saw that I'm seated 191st, which honestly I think that's really good considering the fact that I never really go to anything. I go to my local events here. You know, I don't go to majors really. In the last major I went to, I did terrible. I mean, I did terribly. So the fact I was seated that high makes me pretty happy. I'm seated to make it out of pools, so that's awesome. The people that are in my pool that would be the biggest threat is going to be a Game & Watch named Quirk. And Louis is in my pool, Louis Money, but he's on the opposite side, so I shouldn't run into him unless he gets like upset and I happen to get put into losers. So, you know, I just need to be practicing against Game & Watch, and I think I could definitely know I can get further here. So, just gonna watch this match and see how they're playing. I can see them being a little nervous right now. They're probably running into a lot of shit because they're on stream right now and I'm watching, so they're oh wow. Yeah. That was rough. That was rough. So a lot of people are scared of the Gordo in this matchup. Does Zelda beat Young Link? Good question. No. Yes, Zelda does beat Young Link. Kessig, you are 100% incorrect. It's a very like fast-paced matchup, but Zelda has the tools to stay on top of Young Link. His shield pressure isn't that crazy, and Zelda kills him a lot sooner than he kills her. But it is tricky. I would say that Zelda wins. I don't think she wins like +2, but I do know from experience that Zelda does win. Usually it's either that or it's the fact that for some reason all young Link mains just have issues fighting Zelda. Colonies has a Zelda problem, Skittles has a Zelda problem. Oh, that game just did not go well at all. Unfortunate for them, very unfortunate. But yeah. But yeah, that's what we're going to be going over today. We're going to be watching I mean, yeah, players can have wins against other players, Kessig, but I don't think that like one example from one player would define a whole matchup.
2, 1.
All right, let's see how they do. Okay. So, try to tell them to play a little bit more grounded. Told them to go for more up tilt. Good. I like the forward throw chase. All right, so yeah, you see how they're getting caught by the Gordo. So on Wi-Fi, on Wi-Fi, Gordo is a threat. It's a projectile on Wi-Fi. Okay. So this is that's good. This is more of a matchup where, like, you know, when you're thinking about like setting up Phantom against the Gordo, you really have to stay. You really have to be more a lot like you have to be willing to like not set up Phantom. You have to be willing to like not set up Phantom, because in matchups where characters have like projectiles, the unique thing about Zelda having such zone control and a reflector herself is that by not doing anything, you are always threatening reflect. If you are keeping yourself available, you know, if you're not setting up Phantom, if you're not setting up Jin's Fire, if you are just sitting still and keeping yourself available, you can always react with reflector. Granted, we have to be, you know, far back enough, and online that distance is a lot further away. But I think the unfortunate thing here for Chris or Chef is that the Gordo's very intimidating. They just need to really slow down, and they need to try not to really. Ooh, see, they could have broke shield there. Yeah. I don't know if they were looking for it. I don't think they expected the DDD to stay in shield, but the thing is that like DDD has no reason to like not stay in shield. Like even if he dies, like he's still up a stock, you know, so committing to shield isn't that huge of a risk. I think Chris probably also doesn't know that he can just jab. One the Gordo. He's trying to hit it a lot with Phantom, a lot with Reflector. You know, he can kick it. There's a lot that he can do to send it back. Ouch. That was rough. That was rough. Just seems like matchup and experience. I'm giving them a call now. Weird. Hey, Chris, how's it going?
Hey, good. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Is it cool if I call you Chris?
Yeah, that's totally fine.
Okay, I just didn't see that your name was Chris until today. So, okay, cool. So yeah, that matchup, that's You probably don't play against a DDD who knows a thing or two very often, I assume.
Yeah, that's very true. I know like one that goes to my local, but he isn't that good.
Okay, yeah. Usually it's, you know, hit or miss. Like I play against a DDD at my local, but they get very frustrated fighting against Zelda, so it's kind of free. Like just
Right.
so you know. Um so just to sort of like give you my thoughts just real fast from what I was seeing. So I think what it seemed like is that you were getting caught a lot by the Gordo. They seem to choose to throw the Gordo straight at you, and DDD, of course, can control like you know whether or not he when he throws it, if he sends it right towards you, or if he's going to slow it down and have it do more of a bounce slowly.
Sure.
And I think that you were more focused on trying to like hit it with Phantom because hit it with Phantom or like possibly reflect it or whatever. Sometimes even I saw you hit it with Din's Fire, which was very clever. But I think that you were more so like focused on hitting it like with your own projectiles that you might have not realized or thought about just in the moment, you know, because of the pressure and everything happens to everybody, that you can actually hit it with other things. So like you can fair it. You can even hit it with your sour spot. So you can fair. Fair's hitbox is active for I think for at least 4 frames. So you know, since Fair is very quick, you can at least cover it with that. You can use jab 1. So you can just jab it and it'll send it back. It's weird because we think that, you know, since it's like strong, we must have to hit it with something strong. But you don't. You can actually just jab it right back. So that's what happens. That's kind of how he gets you is because you know he puts that out and you're just watching it. It's similar in concept to the Phantom. You know, you charge Phantom and your opponent's like, oh, I gotta watch the Phantom, and then Zelda punishes what you do in response to the Phantom. That's the same thing that DDD does. Another thing is, and I didn't really get a chance to, you know, give you all this information right before the match, and it's hard to implement stuff like immediately, but by standing still and keeping yourself available, and just playing more in neutral with, you know, up tilt, you know, down tilt, short hop nair, like I talked about. If you are keeping yourself available, you are always threatening Reflector. And that's what makes Zelda very unique, you know, as a, you know, I don't want to call her a zoner, but some people play her like that. But as a character with projectiles herself, is having the ability to reflect projectiles back. And if she's always staying still, you know, if you're walking, if you're shielding, if you're dashing, but you're always making sure to not like go into your special moves, and you know, you're only using moves that are non-committal, like up tilt and stuff, you have a much better chance to, you know, just reflect it back if for some reason it invades your space. But what was happening was you were trying to get Phantom set up, like you would jump back and start the Phantom, and Gordo would just smack you before you could get it finished. And online, you know, the closer you are to them, the harder it is for you to react to the projectile. So something that, you know, could benefit in the future if you're fighting against CDD is trying to opt for making sure that you are far away enough first before you start Phantom. And then if you do start Phantom, if you're going to use it in neutral, which is kind of why you were getting smacked a little bit, because you didn't really have much of an advantage to work with, is if you stick to like the lower level charges. So if you put out like Phantom Punch or the level 3 Phantom, and it, you know, the Gordo hits it, it's going to stop, and you at least have enough time to, you know, either hit it back with Fair. Sometimes you can just punch it back if you time it right. So like using those earlier release Phantoms actually is really good because you either hit it back or you put out Phantom, and if you missed, Gordo will still hit that and it will break your Phantom, but it's going to eat that Gordo. And so it's going to give you time to like, you know, sometimes you can even jump and you can like reflect off of it hitting your Phantom once you come out of the Phantom release animation. So there's like a lot of specific things that you can do. Also, I don't know if you recognize this. You might have, too late, but there was like a platform setup you had where they got scared. You had them on the platform. You charged the Phantom, and then they landed and then they shielded, and you jumped and you grabbed them and did up throw. If you had just fared when you got on the platform, you'd have broke their shield. Their shield was low enough. So the other thing is that you can land in front of them and they have to shield the Phantom. They can't go anywhere. So after that, you could stay right there and decide, okay, if you're going to commit to shield, you have to hold shield. So your shield is shrinking anyway. Then the Phantom's going to hit your shield. So I can wait until the Phantom hits your shield and react and fair. Because when Phantom hits somebody's shield, it actually locks them in shield for 18 frames. So that's enough time for you to keep in mind to know that if the shield hits, you should be able to react with fair, especially offline, and it would have been enough to break. Since I have that on stream, you can look at that and go back, later, and you can see what I'm talking about. So I think that, overall, like, you had some good setups and you had some good pressure, but I think that you just don't have much experience in dealing with an aggressive DDD. Most DDDs get scared of Zelda. They don't really know how to fight her. And
usually I got one that just for me.
Right. Well, what was happening was he was just using Gordo as much as he possibly can. And the interesting thing about this matchup, and something that you probably don't know, and I don't want to like have you go crazy with it, but something that's very, very effective is like the DDD that I play against at my local, and Zelda players kind of do this too, but every time he lands a hit, he will set up Gordo. And the thing is that if Zelda reads the fact that he is going to set up Gordo, you can teleport into him. It's a free punish. And for Zelda, we don't want to skip from disadvantage to neutral, but it's a good mix up to throw out because Zelda can close the distance and get out of disadvantage. That's why a lot of players like to teleport out of disadvantage to try to take people back, but we have to make sure that they're in the middle of an action. So it's very effective against projectile characters. And again, it's sort of why Zelda is more of a character archetype. She shines best as an anti-zoning trapper. So she has a reflector and she has a gap closer to get in on those projectile characters and reflect back and deal with their projectiles, close the distance if they catch themselves into a projectile like pattern. And then, she also has Phantom to sort of wall out their tools. So Zelda is supposed to win against projectile characters, in my opinion, mainly. And that's sort of because she has all the tools to deal with it. It's sort of like what her design is for. So that being said, there's definitely some takeaways from there, but I still think that you did a pretty decent job regardless for not fighting DDDs that are as aggressive as them. If anything, I would ask them for more games. I would just
I did message him. I was just like, that's pretty rough, man. We gotta play.
Yeah.
Like, or whatever.
Yeah, make sure you do. And I would even do it like later today, honestly. Just if you have time, just so that way you can have time to adjust. And because, naturally you will adapt. So yeah, I think that will be good for you. So anyway, so how's it going other than the the little shield break that happened there? Yeah, no, trust me, I've been there.
First game, I literally like destroyed him. Like, I literally up 2 stocks. Really, that's why I went so like aggressively. I don't know. It was like a reality check.
I think that I didn't think that happened or was going to happen, but I mean, like, I think that I was joining and I was already streaming, so I think that that was just some sort of like unnecessary additional pressure.
Right.
that we put on ourselves, which shows us how like mentality is a huge part of this game. You know, if you beat your opponent very convincingly, um, there's there's a danger almost in like being overconfident, especially with a character that's defensive, because um I know people want to play Zelda aggressive. Like I have a friend named Blazing Boy who's a Zelda main, and they are one of the most aggressive Zelda players I've ever seen in my life. But that is not how she's effectively played. She is much better played slow, and it doesn't, sometimes it won't feel right because your opponent's just moving all over the place, and they're like, sometimes they pressure you, and so we get this urge to like, you know, jump, double jump, teleport, cancel, dare, get up tilt, get in there, nair, just roll. Like we just want to perform all these actions and try to keep up with their speed, but that's not how Zelda is designed. Last night I was playing against Geist, the Bayo, and Amaryllis, the Bayo, just in some friendlies, and you know, they were fucking my shit up, and I was, you know, I was like, oh god, I'm on my last stock. And you know, sure enough, you know, and this happens every time with Zelda, but you know, when she gets a hit in, her advantage state is so good, and her ability to read and to call out options and cover options is so amazing that she can turn a situation around with like four moves, and you don't have to be this like incredibly technical, precise, like you don't have to be like that with her. You just have to make sure that you're keeping your cool, that you're playing slow, that you're waiting for your opportunity. That's why we use those non-committal options. You know, and you just try to take it and go from there. So what I would like to do now is I would like to go ahead and get your, we're gonna get your match pulled up here. So give me 1 second. Okay. And I'll share a screen with you here so you can watch on Discord. Okay. So this is a matchup that I feel pretty confident in myself. So I feel like I can definitely give you some pointers here. Colonies Junior, that's interesting because I have played Colonies before. Let me tell you, I'm gonna say this real quick. I had Mysterica watching me. This was last year at Stop Your Friendlies. It was a Midwest tournament. I ended up getting 33rd, and I was robbed because I robbed myself. And this is a very good lesson about keeping yourself available. But I was fighting colonies. I lost game 1. I won game 2 very convincingly, and then game 3, it was last stock, last hit situation. We were on Town and City, and I got a very nice like Nehru's gimp, and I got back on stage. I set up the Phantom, and I could see it in my head. I was like, I'm gonna end this the way that I know I can, and so I ran off and tried to use first hit up B to send them into the Phantom, and I ended up hitting them with the up B, but Phantom didn't hit because I was barely off, and so they were able to. It was so far out off stage that they were able to up B, and they didn't make it back. But I basically died before they did because I missed the ledge or something like that. And he got up when he won, and he popped off, and he was like so happy and all this stuff because I guess, you know, he hates fighting Zelda. I mean, who enjoys it? But I was so disheartened, and Mysterica came up to me because she was watching, and she goes, when you used Nehru's the first time and sent them off stage, all you had to do was stay on stage. She said you didn't realize it, but you caught their double jump, so they were dead. You didn't have to do anything, but because you set up Phantom and you ran off stage and hit them with first hit up B, and you weren't paying attention, you saved them. So yeah, so like that, right? It's like I literally beat this person, but because I got carried away with myself and had an idea in my head, and I was too aggressive, and that's not how you play Zelda. You just don't force things with her. Phantom is supposed to do that for you. It gives you information. You don't force approaches with Zelda. And if you ever do, it is a mix-up because Zelda is played defensively. So if you ever go aggressive, it's more so supposed to be something that takes your opponent off guard. But since every move you have is unsafe on shield, it's not something that's your go-to, right? So let's go ahead and jump into this.
On one, right?
Mm-hmm. Okay, great. We waited on the ledge. Nice. Okay, so right here, what stage of the game are you in? Disadvantage. Yep, you're in disadvantage. What state do you need to get to next? Well, that's where you need to go, but what state of the game do you need to get to next?
Neutral.
What are you trying to do right there? So what are you trying to do?
Trying to fight.
And so if you're trying to fight and you're trying to land a hit in disadvantage, what are you skipping?
Right.
And so you're keeping yourself in that same situation. So when you got up here, just like buffer shield, and even right here, like I can sort of understand that as like a possible like mix up, totally understand. But you need to shield, you roll or dash. Like he's covering your jump out of the corner here, but you didn't jump. So this is an opportunity. If you ever see them try to call you out and they jump to cover your jump, you dash in, you go right under. You just go straight here. So now we're on ledge again. See, now you did it. Do that the first time. Okay, so we're 25 seconds into the match. We're getting our first like full charge Phantom when they're off stage. Don't throw it. Like, I know that like the idea, was there like to possibly hit them, but you have to remember this and just write this down, even if you've written it down before. Phantom is not a percentage tool. You have to resist the urge to hit them with the Phantom. You have to resist. Because again, it's the same concept I've been throwing at you a lot. If it's how all things work in this game, it's basically mind gaming. You have to set up a mind game. So what I mean by that is if you're always in disadvantage going to neutral from disadvantage, then the one time that you're in disadvantage and you do throw it up tilt and it works is because you're mixing them up. They didn't expect it. They expected you to just play safe and go to center, but now you're being aggressive as a mix up. And so you played a mind game. You're like, oh, I'm in disadvantage, better get to the center. Just kidding. And then you can turn around the situation. So that becomes a mix up. If every time you throw them off stage and you're always fully charging the Phantom, they never know whether or not you're actually going to release it. And so you get to watch what they do. So if you were to fully charge this and you watch what they do here, you could see, oh, okay, well, they clearly had plenty of time to go low. And then so right here, Phantom probably would have gone off now. So they would have had to have waited, right? They couldn't have gotten up as quickly as they did here. So now you have to back off and let them get back on stage. And so I'm imagining that since you threw this and you were so focused on hitting them that you're not thinking about what's actually going on. It's like, okay, they fast fell low. Like I knocked them off stage, I set up Phantom, and they fast fall low immediately. So we want to keep that in mind because the next time if you fully charged Phantom here and they, go low, you might be able to knock them off stage and then jump and place Phantom here out of a full hop. And then Phantom is finished by the time you're down here, but it's up here. And then you can double jump back and nair and catch them on their way up, and it will send them into the path of the Phantom. I don't know if you've seen that before. I do up B a lot, but I don't recommend it. I do up B a lot, but something that I would personally recommend instead, let me pull this up real fast, is there's a great play from Mysterica fighting a Captain Falcon. This is a long time ago, but this is something that she does to actually end out the first game. Do you see how she's trying to set that up right there? Like she missed and he has a grab move. So I mean, like it's going to be a little risky, but the thing is that pretty sure she ends up getting it anyway. Now, do you see right here? This is important. You see how she missed and they got past her, but right now she's choosing to not perform any aggressive actions. She's not like, oh, I missed, better dash attack. Oh, I missed, better dash grab, better keep the pressure going. Like she's making sure to stay safe. And if she misses, she's very on top of like defending. Boom. So this is something that covers people trying to air dodge to ledge, also covers them going low. The other thing is, and Ven will do this, you set up Phantom and you sort of threaten the situation when they fall low, but then you just Nehrus. And your goal is not to actually send them into the Phantom, it's just to hit them and send them off stage again. So that way you can keep ledge trapping them. Phantom becomes more effective when people have to get past it. And the longer you can keep somebody off stage and on the ledge, the easier it is for you to, like, you know, throw them off stage, they grab the ledge, they do neutral get up, you run up dash grab them, throw them off stage again, you jump back, set up Phantom, they get on the ledge, and you're like, okay, now you're probably going to jump. So you jump and dare, and then it sends them into the path of Phantom, that type of thing. Like the longer you can keep them there, the easier it is for them to have to cycle through their options like right in front of you, and you're able to capitalize on it. But if you send them off stage, you miss your ledge trap, they get back on stage, then you're fighting here and stuff, and then you get sent off stage, you have to grab the ledge, and then finally when you get into that position where you can set up Phantom again, it's a little harder to know what they're going to do, because like that situation hasn't been present for so long in the match. So
that's really,
yeah, it's very clean and it's very easy. It's not even technical. You just full hop, and then you just full hop and start Phantom, and then that way your Phantom's done here. So this is really nice because sorry, yeah, so if you full hop, like that's what she's doing, all she's doing is she's just kicking them, she jumps, starts Phantom here, and then she's just, you know, already drifting forward, so it places it there, because the stage platforms don't do this, but the stage does. The stage will always interrupt the Phantom, because the Phantom can't go through the stage, but Phantom can go through platforms. So you have to be a little bit trickier when you want to set a Phantom on a platform. But yeah, right here, like she could even have just double jumped back and done Nehrus and done Nehrus, but like drifted in with it, so that way she was facing this way, like B reversed it, and it still would have accomplished the same thing. But Nair, what's nice about Nair is that it's going to hold them in place. So yeah, I mean, like to me, it's literally designed to do that. You can see she pops off here. She's like, yes. Anyway, so let's go back to this. So yeah. I like how you're defaulting to center here though. Like, even though you had to give up that situation, do you see how like you're like back?
Literally, I keep telling myself one thing.
Yeah, good. That's good to hear. But like you like hit and you miss, and it's like instead of like going in with a dash attack, you throw out a poke. This isn't a neutral poke, but this is a poke you can throw out in advantage because it's over 30 frames. So, but it's not too bad. So you can afford to sort of like throw that out, and then you back roll, which I prefer you would just do dash back, but I know we're on Wi-Fi and Young Link's fast, and we did a committal option, so we're just trying to like make sure that we're okay. Yeah, you can just, yeah, dash back is much faster. It's accomplishing what you want to accomplish in half the time. When you do back roll, it's like a 30 frame animation. You're invincible for half of it. You're invincible for like, I think like 14 frames, but dash back is 15 frames before you can act. And so basically you're covering the same distance and half the time. Because we want to, one of the rules is to keep ourselves available, right? So if we dashed back here, you know, you could have dashed right back in and done like a, you could have actually, what you could have done, this might be a little hard to see, but you could do this, is that right here, if you dashed back after this, you dash back, right? And they come in and you dashed forward, you could have done a pivot grab and grabbed them here and thrown them back off stage. So that's something that you could have done. You also could have done dash back, turn around, up tilt. Right here, dash back.
I started practicing. Not like
Reverse up tilt. It can be a little difficult, but what you have to do is you have to use, in my opinion, the best way is to use your analog stick. Do not use the tilt stick. Tilt stick is good for getting an up tilt out when you are already facing that direction. Also, I'm not sure if you're familiar with a pivot up tilt. Do you know how to do that?
I think so. Run the other way up.
Right, yeah. So that's one way that you can turn it around. But basically what I try to do, and let me get this pulled up real fast so you.
Also used to play Pro. Well, I still just bought a new optic joysticks.
Oh, nice. The notches.
Notches, right. So like I want those
Yes, yes. That's I think it's very important. So I will say this. In my experience of having multiple controllers with different with notches that are made from different people and different companies, test your notches, because it's not going to be the same for everyone, because they are, like, you know, cut from a computer, or sometimes they're made from someone doing it by hand. And so you really want to get familiar with, you know, if you go down and forward and you hold your stick in that direction, you know, are you, like right now I'm doing mine bottom left and my character isn't walking, right? If I tilt a little bit further past that notch than I am, you might put yours in the notch and your character might be walking. So this is good for you to figure out, just to see like, okay, you know, what do my notches do for me? Just generally. So for turnaround up tilt, it is a little difficult. But what I recommend is, what you should do is, right now I'm holding directly up and then I'm holding back, and see how I'm like walking like this?
He's not.
Oh, that's weird. I'm trying to share it with you. Okay, okay. You can. You're okay. Okay, so you can see it. Okay, so if I'm holding straight up and I put my stick in.
Oh, wait, no, I lied.
That's weird. That's not right. Oh, hi, Maximus. Hi. You love the SS Zelda skin?
Now I see. It's no longer my.
Oh, okay. I think I had the wrong screen pulled up. I'm sorry. So, all right. Now that we have this figured out, so I'm holding straight up here, and I can do like up tilt like normally, right? Now, if I want to do, here's the trick. If I put my stick in the up left notch, right, my character will do this like little light walk. Now, if I hit the A button, I'm not going to tilt. This is my angled F tilt, right? So what you have to do is you have to hold up and then barely tilt in between those two notches to where Zelda starts doing this very slow walk. If I do this slow walk and I hit up and A, I will still be doing this tilt. So the trick is to learn that sweet spot on both sides, so that way when you're doing your tilt, You know what I mean? You know that you basically what I do is I do up, hold straight up.
I'm in oh, so
Correct,
right?
yeah. But you have to like sort of be very slow with it, because it actually, the trick is that you don't need much past holding directly up. You don't need much to the left or to the right from there to turn that around. And the problem is sometimes you'll, like, if you're in the heat of the moment and you go too far forward, you'll do something like this. And we don't want that. Right? Like, we want to make sure that we're getting that tilt. We don't want that F tilt to happen. So that's just the trick, is I would just go into training mode and I would just specifically practice, right, like you just hold straight up, and then you want to make sure that you're just walking like this. If you're walking like this, your stick is in the correct position to hit A, and you will still just do a tilt. If you're walking too fast, sorry?
I'm also in
Yeah. So if you're walking at a brisk pace like that, that means you're walking too fast. And ideally we don't want to walk, but the whole point is so you can see like your angle, if your angle is accurate. Because like if you're walking this fast, you're not going to get that tilt. If you're walking slowly, you will get a tilt. And then the trick is like getting it fast enough to where like you're just going between them. You have enough time to buffer the next direction during the tilt. So once you can start doing like this, you should be good, because, you know, it's very effective to be able to, like, at 0%, you can like up tilt someone, and like, it's good because you could do this. You can do that. Like, you can do up tilt, whatever. But you're not getting any information off of it. So what can be good is if you do up tilt, turnaround, up tilt. See how I saw he dodged? I can still catch if I'm close enough, but if for some reason I'm not close enough, I can still react. And I know that they like to try to air dodge first thing. You can also do like a dash grab, like if I space this correctly here. You could also do like now technically if you're fast enough, you should get it anyway because it'll cover their attempt to air dodge. But then you also have the mix up of, you know, what if I do the pivot tilt first? What's nice about that is if you turn around your tilt, you're basically using the end hit, which is going to give you the most combo potential. And then if you're turning around your tilt, you're meeting them with the first active hitbox of your up tilt, because it begins in the front of Zelda. So what I'm doing is I'm hitting with the back hit and then turning it around. So that way I'm getting an immediate combo. So this, using front hit up tilt into back hit, is more of a like, let me see what you're going to do type of thing. Because if someone, the thing is I have him set to directionally air dodge, but like, let me set him to just do like an in-place air dodge instead, just so you can see, because most people are going to do that at low percent. Let me just do like
a mod.
Yeah, this is a mod. This is a mod that I have fought long and hard for years. I will tell you, when you have a little money saved up, it is actually not that difficult. I simply called my local GameStop and I asked them if they had any version 1 switches, which in GameStop's inventory, they actually have them separated by version 1 or version 2, which is very useful. So you can go on the website, see if they have any version 1 or V1 switches. And then you just go to a website called Is My Switch Patched? And you put the serial number in, and then you can, yeah, Is My Switch Patched? And then you can put the serial number in and see if it's patched. So I just leveled with them when I went into GameStop. I was just like, hey, you know, I'm a streamer. I I need to see if there is a switch that is beyond a certain point because there's some stuff I need to do with it. So I just need to check the serial number. And if for some reason they're not comfortable with that, because sometimes they can be like, I don't know if I'm allowed to do that. I'll be like, can you just check for me? Can you go to on your phone? Can you go to is my switch patched? Just put in that serial number and just let me know if it lights up green or if it lights up red. If it lights up green, then you can just buy it. And I'm not even kidding. That's when I had enough money, that's what I did. I called the closest GameStop to me, asked them if they had one. They said they did. I went in, they said they checked it for me before I even got there. And they were like, yep, it's good to go. I was like, okay, great. And I bought it and then gave it to a friend and then they set up the stuff for me. So yeah, so it's very useful because one thing that I would say when learning, how to like do combos and stuff like that is having the hitbox visualization is super, super good because that allows you to like see like where your hitbox is, like how long it lasts, like why it connects, why it doesn't connect. But anyway, if I have them set to neutral air dodge here, I've got that set. Dash toggles, air dodge direction, neutral. Okay. So if I do this and they try to buffer air dodge here, it's not going to work. That's why up tilt works, because it catches air dodge. It also catches jump. If we do up tilt to turn around up tilt, it's actually better, because if they air dodge in place, we still hit them, but we get a bigger window to follow up with a combo. Because like I could do this and get 32 damage, or I could do this and get 42 damage. Yeah. Like there's a lot, there's just a lot that you can do. Another thing is like, a thing that can make reversing it good isn't just for combos. Combos is like the scratching the surface of it. It's more so like, if let's say like I'm approaching my opponent with like nair a lot, right? Like I'm approaching them with like just a landing nair. I'm not fast falling this. And let's say I go past them and I miss. I can at least cover myself with my up tilt. And this is good because if I were to go past them and do this, I'm not hitting them, I'm not throwing out an attack at them as soon as possible. So let's say they shield this, right? So like if I put them in shield here, the trick is that, with Nair, because it's -10 on shield, we want to cross them up with it. So that way they can't grab us out of it. Because if we're behind them, they cannot grab. They can still use their up B out of shield options. And Simon is definitely a character that can punish us because their up B is like a Hadouken. It's like frame 6, I'm pretty sure. Just as fast as Zelda up B. But if I put them in shield here, and I land past them, I can pressure their shield pretty quickly and see like if they buffer spot dodge or something, I can at least cover that area. If I do this, it's slower. So you want to mix between the two. It's like a mix. It's like, okay, am I going to land past you and turn around my up tilt, or am I going to land past you and just do an up tilt in place? This is it's a very vital tool for Zelda.
So you would say that the closer you are, the more often you reverse it? And
I think that there's very many instances where you can reverse it, and it doesn't actually depend on that. So like, for example, let's say I'm baiting them and like I'm right here and I like set up Phantom or whatever, and they like roll past it. So like I dash back after I finish it. I can do up tilt like this for sure, but I could also dash back and be like, dash back and do like a, oops, shit. I don't know why. Oh, I think my stick sensitivity is still set to low, but like that. So what I'm doing is I'm dashing back, but I'm turning around with an up tilt, which is something they wouldn't expect. If you dash back, they're probably like, this is normal, right? But sometimes we want to be able to like turn around immediately and have that frame 7 hitbox right in their face, because up tilt starts in front of Zelda and it begins on frame 7. So sometimes we want that hit. Sometimes you will dash back and you'll do this, but you'll get hit before they get hit, because this takes time to get behind her. Hi, Ice9. Thanks so much for the follow.
And you were saying that it's better the button instead of the stick to do this?
So like so here's how I do it. First of all, yes, because you have more control. First, in my opinion, like you can use the tilt stick, but like for me, like sometimes I'll do it and it's just like, since tilt stick is attack plus A, I can't like really like do a tilt and then like buffer the direction. So like I like using my analog stick when I want to turn it around, because I can input a tilt with my C stick. Like I can do this with my C stick, but then during that I can hold up and slightly the other way, like we talked about that little like slow direction during this animation. That way I can properly make sure that I'm turning around. So that way I can confidently have my stick already in place, and then all I have to do is tap the A button, and I know that it's going to be facing that way. But with the C stick, it's attack plus a direction. So you can't guarantee that you're going to get the turnaround perfect. Doing it the harder way is going to give you more accuracy. So I use tilt stick if I'm already facing that direction. So like if I run up and I just want to do this, I'm using tilt stick. But when I want to turn it around, I'm using the analog stick. Yeah, so like this is me just doing a dash, doing the turnaround, and I'm using the C stick to turn around like this.
Okay. Okay.
Which is how you can do it. But like if I'm gonna do a turnaround, I turn around with the tilt. See, here's another thing. Like back hit up tilt is actually pretty godlike on shield. If it's spaced well, it's like anywhere from -5 to -3. Depends on where you hit them, because like it goes behind and down. Like if I hit them like right here, it's pretty safe. So what's nice is like I can do this and buffer like a turnaround and immediately hit them if for some reason like they are to like start a spot, well, try like that, or like start a spot dodge or like whatever. Like another cool thing is like sometimes I'll do like a like this into a back air, and what's cool is if somebody like shields it and they try to jump out of shield, you'll smack them right in the face. See, like they're set to spot dodge right here, so if I'm close enough, I'm able to hit him before he's able to spot dodge.
That's the drop sheet.
Correct. So there's many uses for, you know, back to up tilt, and that's why I've talked about like in neutral, why we just want to use like up tilt, turnaround up tilt, down tilt, short hop nair, because they do so much for us. They do so much for us. So yeah, I'm gonna get back into the video now, but I just wanted to point that out. I haven't really gotten to do this with you before, but like I'll do this sometimes during VOD review sessions, or just in general, like when we do sessions, I'll go into training mode and kind of explain things, because I think it's a lot more helpful to kind of be able to see it immediately when I explain it. So let me go back here. You can see, you should be able to see this now, correct?
Right.
Okay. Let me do the pop out chat here. Girl. Okay. Anyway. Good displacement. Oh, actually, let me make sure I've switched here. There we go. I need more RAM, God. Computer's gonna blow up. All right. So we're on the ledge. We're waiting on the ledge. That was good. We did neutral get up to shield. We got hit. Probably tried to roll or jump or something. That's okay. Both these players beat me. Oh no, not foolproof, getting upset. All right. So we did dash attack. Okay, and see, here's the thing. We did dash attack, jumped, and charged the Phantom. This was a good throw because you were blocking the potential hit, so that's fine. Correct.
especially with fans.
Right, and like you could even do one better right here. You could dash against a projectile character who can shut you down from disadvantage with a projectile for starting Phantom. We want displacement. So this is me just being nitpicky and being like harder on you. But you know, I'm not going to sugarcoat shit. So here, because I know you can do displacement, you want to dash forward here, maybe once or twice, and then set up your displacement. Here, yep, that way you stop. That way he's wasting time and disadvantage, because then he's literally going to charge his projectile at you, and then what's going to happen is he's going to throw it, and it's going to get blocked. So then you can react and throw the Phantom then, because Phantom, what's nice about it is, of course, it's going to eat the projectile. This is good for you to know just for Zelda data, but when you charge Phantom, the shield of Phantom does not spawn until frame 45. So when you... Okay, so Phantom takes 67 frames before you can act. Technically 66, you can act on the 67th frame. On frame 45, the shield appears. So the Phantom shield, correct. So that's the frame that allows you to block a projectile. What's nice is if once the shield appears and you throw the Phantom, for the first couple frames, so first of all, the shield isn't there because you can throw it right before. So what's interesting, I'm not sure if you know this, but there's actually two versions of the level 4 overhead swing. There's a version without the shield and there's a version with the shield. If you threw this a little bit later, you would have gotten the shield. And what's nice is when you get the shield actually will protect the Phantom for about 4 or 5, I think it's 4 or 5 frames before the overhead swing comes out. So getting mastery of this can be good. Trying to get that sweet spot for the later overhead swing, you can actually react to when the shield appears. So if you charge Phantom and you watch and you see the shield, then you'll be able to actually throw it and you'll have that shield protecting it. It's a little difficult, but it can be done. Because the shield appears right before the Phantom's head appears, so you just have to get practice looking for the shield. But it's something you can visually react to. But regardless, here, dash forward, and then just get that displacement set up. So you'd be backing off a little bit, but that way you guarantee your Phantom is going to pressure here. Because right here, you had to throw Phantom to avoid the projectile. And here, this is sort of like where Ven and I's playstyles differ. So right here, this is something Ven would have done. And it totally works. You can block the projectile. Phantom's going to sit out for a second to block other projectiles, and you can still potentially act. But the problem is that against projectile characters, Zelda shines by being able to stop their projectile and still play her game. And so right here, you had to sacrifice your advantage state, because right here, it's like, oh, I'm going to get my Phantom set up. What are you going to do? But you had to throw it. So if you had you just dashed forward and focused on setting up a displacement, your Phantom might have come out a little bit slower, but you at least would have blocked the projectile and you would have been able to have your Phantom. So right here, they would have had to see how they shield. They would have had to have shielded anyway, and then you can act. So it's a much better scenario for you to be in. So yes and no. So there's actually varying levels to when you do displacement, and I think this is worth mentioning. So I'm going to go back here so you can see. So you should be able to see this. Let me make this bigger again. So right here, when you do Phantom, when you're displacing, when you input down B, the closer you are to straight down when you input Phantom, the farther back you go. So for example, see how I shot back behind the Phantom? That's because I inputted Phantom and I was holding directly down. If I input Phantom, but I hit more down and forward, kind of that same angle, if we were kind of that same angle that we were talking about, where, or like, you know, if you hold up and you start doing this, like, technically you can sort of do that too. But it's the direction between down and like down forward. So if I input that direction, I don't jump back as far. The shield will still protect me, so like it's still good if you can get behind it. But sometimes you want to be inside of it because it will body block for you. So like if you fight Wii Fit, you do this, they're going to shoot that Phantom right past it, and they're going to shoot their soccer ball right past the Phantom, and it's going to smack you on the head because you're exposed.
Right.
But like right here, it's like I'm a little bit more inside of the Phantom, and then there's also like a little bit of a sweet spot where if you get a little bit, like I said, the closer you go to down, the further you're going to go back. So if you can play around with that, you can really start to know which. Sorry?
If I'm directly down while this, that's when I'm the furthest away.
So, yes. So basically how it works is, you know, you do a RAR, which is dash back, turn around. And then when you input Phantom, if you are just holding straight down, you get the furthest distance. That's why it's very uncommon to see Zelda do a displacement and she shoots all the way back. Because a lot of players don't know that that's how you control how far Zelda goes.
I always knew that she was doing it. I thought my time was terrible.
Nope. It has nothing to do with your timing.
Every time I just and by the night.
Yeah.
And I just thought it was just like, oh, I just suck at.
Well, no. So if anything, that's really good, because if we think about it, the problem with displacing Phantom, and like, again, this is more so to Ven's argument of not needing it. And I think we both see eye to eye on it. I think that Ben agrees at this point that displacement is something that Zelda does need in certain matchups. But you can play without it because you can just like, you know, if I'm fighting Young Link, I can always just do this. This would be my game plan, is just to throw the Phantom and just like try to keep it out and keep that between us, so that way there's something in between the both of us to stop the projectiles, and then it's going to sit there, and then I can like dash inside of it, whatever. This just makes it a lot easier. So if you are displacing Phantom and you're going the full distance back, it's good, but it's also not good, because like I'm giving up stage, right, to get this Phantom set up. So ideally, this can be good against faster characters that can close the distance, but against characters that like let's say I'm in advantage, like I dash attack to you and you're right here. I want to protect myself, but I don't want to back off because I want to be able to react to what you do. So this can be good to like get back to center, you know, because now I'm center stage, whatever. But like if I want to like keep you right here and I want to ledge trap you, like I don't want to go back very far. That way I'm still in position and closer. I'm as close to you as I can be while also displacing. So like you want to actively switch between the two of them. And that's again why Zelda's a hard character to play, because you're like, do I charge Phantom in place? Do I jump back charge Phantom? Do I, you know, displace close? Do I displace far away? Like, you know, and then of course there's the whole like, do I Phantom kick? You know, do I fully charge the Phantom? Like there's a lot that goes into learning her. So displacements are useful but difficult. I've only ever successfully done it in battle a few times. I got to lab it more. Yeah, Maximus, I would definitely agree. I would definitely practice it. It is a super essential, in my opinion, it's a super essential tech. It always has been. Something I gloat about all the time, honestly, is the fact that there are some Zelda players that have gotten some recent really good results. And back in the day when displacement first came out and I was preaching about it, these Zeldas were like, it's useless, you're giving up stage, like you don't need it, you shouldn't be doing it, blah, 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 blah. Zelda still snacks, blah, blah, blah. And then if you watch them play in tourneys, They only displace the Phantom. It's the only thing they ever do whenever they set up Phantom. It's just ironic to me.
Of course, right?
Right, exactly. Your biggest haters usually, do that sort of thing.
Right.
So going back here, we're going to go to share screen so they can see. And then we're going to, so you can see here now. Okay, I like the cancel.
I've watched this.
So you can air dodge back, yes, but technically you could Nehru's here too.
Would it get out in time?
Yeah. It's frame 4, invincibility. So right here, you would have beaten him. You would have absolutely beaten him. Another thing that's kind of useful is, I don't know if you know this, I don't know if I've shown you this. If you do a telecancel and you buffer B reverse Nehru's, you will Nehru's at it as soon as you appear, but you will actually, you won't go off stage. Yeah. So you can threaten Nehru's without having to go off stage here. And in my opinion, it's sort of better. Technically, you had the read. Like, you had the read. If you Nehru's here, they were dead. Because you either sent them off too far and they don't have a jump, or if you did Nehru's into the stage, so you turn it around, you possibly might you would send them off. If you did Nehru's this way, but you went past them, like if you Nehru's right here and you ended up on this side, you'd send them here, and it's a stage spike situation. They'd have to be ready for the tech or they die.
Right.
So, but ultimately at the end of the day, the safest choice is yes, to waveland back, because the telecancel is to like, just sort of be, the telecancel is more so to be like, boo. Like, I'm trying to scare you. Like, something you might see a lot is, you'll see players, like when they, like high level players, what they'll do is if they knock somebody off stage, they will run off and they'll just double jump right back on stage. And what that does is it scares the opponent because they think, oh shit, you're going to come out and try to hit me. So then if you run off, double jump back, you're seeing if they're going to do their little panic option. And what's nice is, like, if you had done this to this young Link, you can accomplish the same thing with like the teleport cancel waveland back. It does the same thing. It's just honestly, it's better because you're putting out a scary killing hitbox, and then you're able to cancel out of it and put yourself in a position to react to whatever they do. So you wanted to get out the telecancel as soon as possible. So right here, I know that this is kind of hard, but if you had turned around first and then wave landed onto the platform, you wouldn't have had to have turned around here. So
What do you time to?
right, so like here, if you had gotten it out a little faster, it's scary. The whole point of doing this is more so to scare them. It's kind of like, it's something I've had to learn over time, is that like, if I hit them, great. If I don't hit them, oh well, I'm at least scaring them. It's better to do that than to like go for the telecancel and try to go off stage and get the dare, because like everybody sees the clip where I land the dare, but they don't see the clip where I miss it. So, I'm not going to post that. And then I lose stage control, and then I get ledge trapped to death, and then I die, and then I lose. So right here, you had the right idea. Okay. So ironically, when you did this, you're in place to telecancel again.
Really?
Yeah. So on Smashville, these lights are an indicator of if Zelda's dress is touching it before the light, you can teleport straight from here to here, just a straight teleport, and you'll cancel. So what I would have done here is teleport, double jump back, set up Phantom. Now, granted, you still set up Phantom, so this isn't bad. I'm just sort of, I know that you have a decent technical ability. So I'm just saying that, if you had recognized that you were in position there, then you could have gotten that. And we're accomplishing two things there. We're scaring them with the teleport cancel because they don't know if we're going to go off stage and try to hit them. And then we're double jumping back and setting up the Phantom out of it. So it makes them have to wait. The teleport cancel scares them. They have to wait, or they jump early or do something instead. And so, okay. What rule did you break?
Ledge.
You skipped the ledge and you died. Do you like dying?
No,
I
literally myself this time I do it.
Good.
I'm getting better at it, but
That's good. That's good. It's hard because this is a habit that we form. Like I've said before, we form habits because we have positive associations with them. So you've skipped the ledge before and you've, done Nehru's here and you've reflected the projectile and gotten stage control back, or you've skipped the ledge and then, mixed them up and like air dodged back into place and then rolled or something. So like you have gotten out of disadvantage many times before for the habit to have been formed for you to double jump and skip the ledge. But we have to break that habit. Geist was yelling at me about that last night. They were like, stop skipping the ledge, stop skipping the ledge. I'm like, fucking shut up. Seriously though, like it's a thing. Like don't skip the ledge. Like there's no reason to do it. Like you can't cheat death. So you can't, that's literally what you're doing. You're trying to cheat death. You have to play by the rules. Good Nehru's. Good defaulting back to center. I feel like I'm having deja vu because like we've seen this exact same thing happen already. So right here, you're doing like down tilt to like this short hop dare, which I think is okay. But what I'd rather see is down tilt. Now do dash back up tilt. And here's why. When you go up here and you do this down tilt, what happens is you either hit them for doing something early, and if you don't hit them, you're causing them to do something. See how you down tilted and then they did a get up attack? Or they did neutral get up? The down tilt is baiting them to do that. So since down tilt's only 21 total frames, you can throw that out, draw out another one if you want to see what, if they, for some reason, did neutral get up to shield and you down tilt on their shield, they can punish you. If they didn't shield, since down tilt's active for 7 frames, they're vulnerable for 1 frame. So if you time it right, you can down tilt again, and you can actually have your 7 active frames out for them to run into out of the neutral get up before they can get their shield up. Right here, if you put another one out, you possibly would have caught them before they're able to put the shield out. So that's one thing you can do. The other mix-up, though, and the best one, I think, is with any combination of Phantom. You can throw Phantom. Again, here you threw Phantom. I don't, throwing. So I hope you realize what's happening here. So when you're throwing this Phantom, what are you trying to do? You're trying to hit them, right?
Right.
Right. So it's not a percentage tool. So if anything, I would rather you have thrown this with sort of like, you're sort of like using it to condition. So like if you throw it early and they expect you to fully charge, they might choose an option and try to get up early. But right here, they waited because they were expecting you to fully charge it. So it's not necessarily bad that you threw it, because again, you're an advantage, but now you don't have a trap. So when you dash forward here, moving along, if you had fully charged Phantom or you didn't, doesn't matter. Something Ven does a lot is they will dash up, they'll down tilt, and they do dash back up tilt. And what that does is it actually covers a lot of situations. When you did the down tilt, it baited him to do a neutral get up. If you had done dash back into up tilt, what's nice is that you're returning to center, which is exactly what you're doing here with this dare, but you're covering a roll. If for some reason you did the down tilt and the down tilt scares them and they roll, the dash back up tilt covers the roll. In addition to that, if you didn't hit it, it's very non-committal. So if they were to like do a neutral get up to shield, you're still right here and they still have to get past you. On top of that, if you did down tilt and they jumped and you did dash back up tilt, when they jump and you do the up tilt, they still are landing. So you could do like dash back up tilt and they're about to land and you can do up tilt again. You can shield after the up tilt and have them hit your shield, and then you can up B them and then take center. If you do dash back up tilt and then you do they're about to land and the up tilt misses, you could do go into center, turn around, pivot grab, catch their landing. So this situation of just dash up, down tilt, dash back, up tilt is very good for Zelda. No, Ven doesn't go by they, them pronouns. I just default to calling people they, them, just generally, because I think it's, I don't know, it's just how I talk. It's better, I think, to assume they, them than assume in today's society, you know, it's whatever. Sorry, I was just telling the person that was in the chat. So, okay. So right here, Nehru's dash attack. That's a free grab. But you're like, girl, you're spinning. I'm going to spin too. And then you miss because you go the full distance. It's okay. And then you missed. So you missed and you're like, ah, fuck. So what do we do when we're scared?
Neutral B.
Neutral B. And you got grabbed. So right here, you're in advantage. So I know that you expected to like hit them, but what happened is that you reflected the boomerang. And so the boomerang is what hit them here. So that popped them up. Now you didn't expect that. You didn't expect that to happen. So that's why you're like dashing forward with the dash attack, because you thought that like the Nehru's was going to send them that way. After this, like remember, always try to keep yourself available. So right here, you see them whiff. And the thing is that you could literally like short hop here, just like short hop and just dare them, like land with the dare. Don't like just rising short hop dare, just short hop and dare. You could also run up and you can shield, and this is punishable with shield grab. It's hard, but it is. But the main thing you could do is just run up and shield into it, purposely like run, dash in and shield it. And then when he's finished, just uppy him. Just like uppy him as soon as he's done. Because the thing is that he's probably not holding a direction already to accidentally DI up B, because he's not using an aerial. The reason that when Zelda's in shield and people land on her with an aerial, like let's say you're in shield and Link jumps towards you and he uses a fair. If he uses a fair, he's holding forward, most likely. And so if he's holding forward when he lands and he missed, but you up B him for it, he's still holding forward. That's why people go up and like to the right, and you do up B and you go straight up and you miss and now you die. But in this instance, he did up B and he's on the ground. So if you punish him with up B, he has to additionally consider that can happen. And so he's going to have to hold to the left or to the right, which is a lot less likely. So it makes a punish where you want to use up B1 to up B2 straight up. It's more potent, because you're punishing them for doing a grounded option. You're not punishing them for doing an aerial. That's why if people land on our shield with an aerial, or just generally, I think it's always better to just up B1, send them straight up, teleport out. Get to safety, take stage control, whatever, get out of that pressure situation. Otherwise, here, that was a clean punish. So there's a lot of things that you can do here, but I know that you're playing on Wi-Fi. I know that you're trying to just like get the punish. So right here, you had the punish. So you know that you can shorten the distance you go, right, on the ground, right? You know that you can shorten teleports with the C stick.
Oh.
Okay. So, yeah, so this is a little difficult, but I'm going to go back into live screen here just so you can see. So, this is complicated, but I know you're capable. So this is why I'm telling you about it, why I'm spending a little more time with you today. So during frames 12, 13, and 14, so for 3 frames before Zelda disappears, you can input a direction on the C-stick. If you input a direction on the C-stick during frames 12, 13, or 14, the C-stick input will override whatever direction you are holding with the analog stick, and it will choose that direction instead. So it's gonna be a little hard for me to do, but let's say I'm gonna up B. I'm gonna up B, and I'm going to hold straight up. But I'm going to tap forward on the C-stick at that timing. If I do it correctly, I will go forward and shorten the teleport. If I do it incorrectly, I will still teleport straight up. So I did it correctly there, because I teleported forward. If I do it incorrectly, okay, well, I'm not doing it incorrectly, God. what's nice is that it allows you to still cover yourself. So like that way I'm not just betting it all. So like, for example, now I'm going to up B and then I'm going to teleport this direction, but I'm still going to hit forward on the C stick. So I still went forward. So going forward, because I've just got the timing down. See, so right there, I didn't get it. But I still went the other direction. So what's really nice is this is sort of a fake pseudo option select, in a sense. I'm inputting one input with both sticks. And it's like, if I screw up, I still have the first direction to fall back on. So what's really cool about this is you can try to shorten like with both if you want. So like I'm holding up B and holding down forward here, but I'm also going to hit up B and smack forward on the C stick to try to get that shorter distance. That way I just sort of, you know, have two different like directions to play with. The reason that this is also kind of useful, of course, is for, you know, teleport cancels. I don't really practice short and teleport cancels very often. Yeah, I don't practice short and teleport cancels very often, but yeah, whoa. It's pretty difficult to do, but it is something that is possible. There we go. So almost.
So you can apply that after.
So it's right before, because Zelda disappears on frame 17. On frame 17, she's gone. The last frame she's visible is frame 16, and you have to input this on frames 12, 13, and 14. So,
Okay,
so it's basically, it's a timing. It's just like 1, 2. If you do it right, like right here, I'm just doing it. I'm just doing it in place. Because if I hit up B and I don't do anything, I go straight up. So if I go straight up, I didn't get the timing right. But right here, I'm just hitting down on the C stick. It's like a 1, 2, 1, 2. You just have to practice it. But it's right. It's like, honestly, like, I can see what you're saying. It's like the timing is sort of like right when she disappears. It's just you have to technically hit it right before she does. So it just takes timing. It's good for practicing teleport cancels, but also I want to show you something that I think is kind of, I think it's kind of cool. So like, let's say our opponent's at 100% and they're on the ledge. Okay, then. Let me see here. I need to figure out a way to get him to grab the ledge. Okay, cool. That works. Okay. Bear with me here. Okay, cool. All right, now we've got something. So you can actually hit them with that B while they're waiting on the ledge.
Right.
Well, no, I'm not I'm not two framing them. They're just on the ledge, and Zelda's hitbox is so big that it will hit. But what's cool is you can do a little option select setup here. So I'm going to make them hang so that way I don't want to scream, because I have them set to do every single ledge option. So anyway, so right here, if I have them wait, what I can do is I can up B and teleport to center, right? Just in case I screw this up. But what I can do is I can teleport away, but hit up on the C stick. So if I do this right, I can still combo it because I'm shortening the distance. Because since they're down here, when I hit with up B, they don't go as high because they're starting from a lower position. So you have to shorten it. So let's get their percentage to, let's see, what is their percentage rate? 95. So let's get their percentage to like 100. No, let's do 105. So like right here.
Oh, is that you?
There we go. So I'm not holding the right stick up. I have to time the right stick up, but yes, precisely. So right here, they're about, let's see, 120%. Let's try that. It's been a long time since I practiced this, but there we go.
We're looking for.
Yeah, I'm just trying to find that real fast. So the reason that the timing's a little bit different is because when you hit someone, you got that hit lag and hit stun going on. So since I'm in hit lag, the timing changes a little bit later. So it's hard to do, but it's something that, you know, you have the ability to do. One of my friends, Bolero, they've practiced it so much that they're absolutely fantastic at doing it. But it's just, it's a nice little way that you can utilize, you know, shortening cancels, whatnot. So going back to this here, because we're going to finish up this match, just trying to give you some ideas. So right there, you could have shortened. And then when you miss, it's better for you to buffer shield. The worst thing that happens is you get grabbed. Like, I know it's scary that you missed, but shield is going to accomplish what you want to accomplish faster. No, I mean, it will leave you more available than Nehru's would, so that's a good way for you to think. Shield is frame 1. It doesn't come up until frame 2, the visual for it, but shield is frame 1. So here, you would have gotten grabbed, sure, but it's still better, because if they would have thrown out an attack, if you hadn't beat them, or let's say that they waited after you teleported, they waited to see what you did. If they waited for you to do Nehru's, they could have gotten a bigger punish. They could have like been charging an F smash or something. But if you shield, that F smash isn't going to hit. So then at that point, if you're shielding and they didn't do anything, you have the ability to like react in that moment. You could roll, you could jump, etc. You could let them hit your shield and then up B, like that sort of thing. So yeah, right here, go to the ledge. Just go to the ledge. Right here, I think you had the idea to, but then the projectile scared you. So
Right.
I know you're in disadvantage, and I don't like using Nehru's in disadvantage. So just fastball air dodge.
Which I got.
Right. So it's gonna take practice to do, but you can definitely do it.
I was watching sub session. I told him not to do that.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. You're gonna hear me rat on both of you in those sessions. There's nothing I can do about that. It's gonna happen.
I loved it. It was awesome.
Okay. Girl.
Missed the ledge. I know. I was going for the ledge. I swear.
Okay, so in this instance, if you're here and you're going for the ledge, understand that you're setting the pace. So you're doing something kind of risky because it's scary to try to like rely on a shortened aerial C stick to the ledge type of thing. In this scenario, I would only go to the ledge here if you were at the full distance. So you should have been over here. If you're here and you want to go to the ledge, slow down. Again, Zelda's not meant to be played super fast. You're at high percent. If we grab the ledge immediately at a disadvantage, we have less invincibility on the ledge. You know that, right?
Yep.
So, right here, take your time.
Put away.
You could just float down. Something you probably see Ven do a lot is they'll get hit, they'll float down a little bit, they'll double jump, they'll up air, they'll float down a little bit, They'll up B and they'll grab ledge. That way they're setting the pace. That way, if their opponent has some sneaky little snarky ledge trap, then taking their time allows them to see if they're going to set up for it. Sure, you might be thinking, oh, well, if I take my time, they'll have the ability to set up and possibly ledge trap me. Oh no, I don't want to be on the ledge. That's terrifying. But the problem with that is that you're already in this position. You fucked up. That's why you're here. So you have no choice but to get through it. It is better for you to get through this situation with as much invincibility as you can. You got to slow it down. Because you didn't slow it down, that's why you missed, that's why you died. I know it's simple and easy for us to think, oh, well, I just missed the ledge. Sure, but like, wouldn't you just want to do something that just guarantees that you just never, ever, ever have to worry about that? Rather than like risk versus reward, you know? The risk of you doing this is far greater because if you miss the ledge, if you're slightly off, you die. So the reward is not great. The reward is you get to the ledge and you have less invincibility. That's not that great of a reward. I wouldn't ask for that for Christmas at all. So I think that you should just slow it down, fall. You can either fall, double jump up B. Right here, you could Nehru's just because you're too far away for him to follow up. So you can Nehru's to stall, double jump up air, Nehru's again, then up B, whatever. Take your time. Take your time. And the other thing is like, since you don't take your time sometimes, like against that DDD, for example, it catches up with you real fast. And the farther you get behind, it's like a snowball effect. The more you feel pressured to act.
Right.
And the more we act without thinking, the more reckless we become. Good dash attack. Don't corner yourself. You put yourself in the corner. Now you got to work your way out of it. Now you're on the ledge. Okay, first of all, where was she? Hello? Where was she? Where was she over here? Why?
I know, me too, I definitely get it together, but this
Right. Excellent grab. Fantastic. Normally I do not recommend grabbing from the corner, but you scared them. That was good. Oh, honey, just
I didn't let it go.
Yep. So see, it's not a percentage tool. So granted, you do want to set it up, but you have to always be thinking, again, if we never throw it, we can always look for the opportunity to react and throw it. See, this is like the difference. When they're recovering and you see them, you're like, oh, it's a fly, I'm going to swat it. But you know, like when you swat out a fly and you miss, right here, this fly is like sitting here sucking on some fucking sugar, I don't fucking know. And so you're like, oh, okay, it's distracted, boom. So now he's gonna roll right past you, and that's why a lot of people do this move. They will double roll, and it pisses me off. I hate seeing it. It literally makes me rage when I see people do this, because I'm like, you're fucking stupid. Like, I'm not, no shade to this player, but I'm like, literally, that's what you're gonna do. You're gonna get out of the corner. I lost to double roll. That is like, I lost a double roll. That's the worst feeling in the world. So right here, I know you want a dash grab, but like, you have to assume borrowed time here. You're an advantage. So eliminate the RPS, right? Like, you're guessing here with this grab. I know it felt like you were going to get it, but you didn't know you were going to get it. So it's a guess. So right here, it's not a percentage tool. So you're trying to act as if it is, because you're trying to grab and get him hit into it. What you need to do is, if you had stayed in place and he rolled, you could have down tilted. It would have caught his roll. It would have popped him into the phantom that you were trying to hit him into in the first place. You see what I mean? Like, I'm not trying to be like I'm not trying to come off like a bitch. I just really want this to stick, because I've watched you play. I know you possess the ability. So I just got to tell you like I see it. Again, let's look at that again. Stay in place, down tilt. He's scared. You set up phantom. Watch what they do. Play slow. He's scared. He didn't roll. He didn't roll because you tried to dash grab. That's not why he rolled. And see, this is the whole problem with, like, trying to look at our own videos by ourselves. It's because like you probably would have thought, you know, or some people, I know I probably would have thought, oh, okay, he probably rolled because he knew the grab was coming. No, he rolled because he thought you might throw the Phantom then. So if you just waited and see what they do, you're always doing that, then you know that he likes to roll out of the corner. So then you could have just down tilted him, popped him into it. The other thing is if you had down tilted and you missed and he rolled again, now you can react and dash attack him. Or dash grab him. I'd recommend dash attack, but you could dash grab him. So like, that's what keeping yourself available does. It allows your opponent to create their own disadvantage. Write that down. Keeping yourself available allows your opponent to create their own disadvantage. Love the first hit up B. A lot of people don't do that at a disadvantage. It is very risky, but he missed and you sort of saw that. So you were able to reset the situation there. Yeah, right here, when you land, buffer displacement. I think you probably tried to and you might not have gotten it, but right here, you're either going to take the hit or you have to throw it. So that's why displacement is why we need it. That's how Zelda fights characters like this. And that's why I think a lot of people like look at the surface and they're like, oh, Zelda loses. What's she going to do? She has to throw her Phantom so she doesn't get the setup. So you got it. You have to displace it. Now we're kind of panicking here. Where was she? Hello? That's exactly what... That's what... Now she's here. Now she's here when we're on her... When she's about to die. Like, it's on her last stock. See how they just did neutral get up and then into shield? Neutral get up into shield is a very, very good option. And the pivot grab is more of a read. You're going for a read here. So right here, you have Phantom. So you can afford, because Phantom is covering you, you can afford to dash in here and down tilt. You could even dash in up tilt, dash in, turn around up tilt, dash back up tilt, whatever. Right here, it's very good to mix and grab too. You want to think that this opponent has done neutral get up to shield many, many times. So you can actually cover that with dash grab. That's how you get that grab that you want. You watch what they do. They do a neutral get up. Just go in and shield. Or sorry, go in and just go in and dash grab. The other thing is that if you set up Phantom here and you dash in and you down tilt, if you're here and you down tilt and then they do a neutral get up, you can buffer shield out of your down tilt and then just grab them out of shield here. So you dashed in, down tilt, hold shield, you're holding shield, they shield, grab. He stayed in shield. You would have got the grab. Send him off stage, set up Phantom again. So don't try to, like, if you're going to read a roll, the other thing is I think you were trying to read roll here. So if you're going to read roll, dash back up tilt. Because if you miss and didn't cover the roll, yeah. So you're covering that situation with like the later part of the hitbox. So that's why like doing dash back and doing up tilt is good, because you're covering like the immediate in case they got past you first. So you're covering in front of you at the beginning if they got past you. If they didn't get past you, you have all of the end to cover with. So that's why we want to do that. But the other thing is that if you miss that up tilt, it's only 29 frames. So you're keeping yourself more available than you are if you do a pivot grab. Pivot grab, and the other thing is up tilt is active for 13 frames. You're using 13 frames to possibly cover that roll. Right here, do you know how many frames you're trying to cover this roll with? So what I mean is your grab, like up tilt is active for 13 frames. So you have 13 frames to potentially hit them. Right here, you are grabbing. So you have 2 frames where you could possibly get that grab. Grab is only active for 2 frames. So that's a grabs are reads. That's why grabs are only active for 2 frames. They're reads. So right here, you're trying to read somebody on Wi-Fi for a roll, and it's just like it's harder. It's really hard to catch rolls with pivot grab. It can be done, and it's very bitchy. It's just very hard to do. So I would just, if I were you, I would just go for the up tilt, because again, like think about that. So the grab is only active for 2 frames, yet pivot grab is like I think it's like a 40 frame animation, I think. I'm gonna double check here just to make sure. Pivot grab, 42 total frames. And it's only active on frames 14 and 15. So it's good, but it's not active for very long. And it's a long animation. Whereas, up tilt is covering, it's doing a lot more for you in that scenario there than the pivot grab would have. Trying to fight our way out of the corner there. Like I don't necessarily blame you for going for it, but like you could have grabbed the ledge sooner here. So I'm glad that you didn't do that, because I mean at least you grabbed the ledge a little later. And see, now you're taking your time on the ledge. Okay, so we waited a little too long and they called that out. So right here, when they come towards us, that's when you use get up attack. Because get up attack is going to have invincibility frame 1. And then when you get to higher levels of play, what people will do is like they'll dash at you and then you'll do get up attack, and then they just dash back, and then they like grab you or like parry it, or so. But we're not there just yet. So right here, get up attack would have been what you wanted to do, because they're waiting, get up attack. Because if you rolled here, that's what the down smash is trying to cover. It's covering behind him as well. So that covered ledge hang and it covered roll. So jump here would have potentially worked. Neutral get up to shield here would have definitely worked. If you had done neutral get up to shield here, like I know it's scary, but if you had done neutral get up to shield, you would have shielded this. And since he has to finish the rest of the move, you would have gotten a grab. You could have thrown him off stage and set up a phantom, still kept it in there. So you started to clean up your play, really did. And I know I've focused more so like on the areas that you could improve in, but I do want to point out that when you are confident, your reads are very, very good, and your technical prowess is there. 100% it's there. It's not something that I see that's very common. I think there's maybe like, out of 95% of Zelda mains, there's probably 5% that have that technical prowess. And you are one that possesses that. So, I really think that it's going to benefit you to start getting the other technical side to your character down, in terms of like things that we think aren't tech, but they are, like turnaround up tilt, shortening cancels with the C stick, our phantom displacement distances. That's sort of why I wanted to take the opportunity today to sort of point those things out rather than just go over this whole video, because to me, those are sort of the situations that you have like room to improve on. Like there's still, every one of us has things to improve on, but we've already made you aware of like, don't skip the ledge, return to center, default to center. That's another thing you were doing absolutely fantastically. And I have to applaud you for that, is that you did return to center in every instance that you could when you had advantage. And I'm sure that like, I'm just going to pick to a random point here. It seems for the most part that when you can, you do return to center. Okay, I know, yeah, you're really pressured here. Okay, cool, we fought our way out of the corner. Just picking some random points here. Okay, Din's fires, that's fine. All right, we missed the ledge, so that's another situation. Just, I know this is out of context, but just take our time. No reason to rush. This was fine. You're delaying by doing that. Right here, you could even Nehru's and drift forward with the Nehru's and then teleport and grab the ledge. That way you just have as much invincibility as you can, but seems like you're just, when you rush it, that's when you start to rush, that's when you start to, you know. The other thing is like, and this is where we'll sort of end on for today. But the thing is that when you start to rush through things, have you ever like been late for something and you like rush because you're running behind and you like forget to do something else, or like you run a red light? Yeah, if you procrastinate, that sort of thing. So what I mean by pointing that out is that you've got 7 minutes each match, 8 minutes depending on where you play, what state you're in, but you've got 7 minutes. So in all instances that you can, you should really take your time, because, you know, if this is going to be one of the dumbest analogies you've ever heard. But if I am a tiger, right, and I am out in the wild, and I am watching an elk, and that elk is looking mighty tasty. I haven't eaten for a couple of days. I'm very, very hungry. I'm on a low carb diet, 0 net carbs. So this elk would go perfect for me right now. I just, so tasty. Anyway, so if I just run right at it, I could potentially scare it off. And then now there's another day that I don't eat. I'm a tiger. I'll probably catch it, but regardless, for example purposes. If I sit there and watch its movements and I take my time, I can get a better idea of how to approach it. So that way, when I do approach it, it's an effective approach and I'm more likely to get it. Same thing applies to this game, especially with Zelda. You have to watch your opponent. You are a trap character. You are not a rushdown character. So you have to really take your time and decide in certain situations whether or not, like let's see, we get up on stage here.
Looks like I'm not gonna.
That's okay. That's okay. I'm not really thinking about that, but so like I'll just say, like, right here, when you get grabbed here, like when you did neutral good up to shield here and you didn't get grabbed, you can short hop. Buffer short hop, fast fall empty land, don't even try to punish him and just take center stage. That would be more of an effective way to approach the situation. For example, right here, see, like, you skip the ledge and they air dodged and they try to grab you again, and that's why they got hit. I'm just being honest. You shouldn't have gotten that. Like, you did. You did, but it's more so that, like, you got away with something that you're not supposed to get away with, and that's because your opponent was, like, I don't know what they were doing. Like, they like missed here, and so they were, like, they overextended and they just wanted to get back as soon as possible. And if you had gone to the ledge, they technically did what they were supposed to. Right there, like here, and you're here, but because you landed on stage, you were able to punish them. So, like, I can't tell you that you're wrong for doing it. It's just that we, you know, when we skip, you know, if this is like, I would call this like a happy accident. So right here, we throw Phantom because, you know, that's sort of what we've been wanting to do. But this was a great Phantom, because right here, you hit them, you set this up, they double jumped. So, like, you throwing this out is a lot more effective than if they still have double jump. Like, if you hit them a higher percent and they still have double jump and they're coming back, and you throw level 4, like, they still have double jump upbeat to get to the ledge. But right here, you hit them and it's like they were forced to double jump. So ironically, Phantom level 4 is more potent at, like, lower percents, because it's literally a jump call out. It is literally a jump call out, and that's what you do. So that worked. You covered their recovery there with the down B. That was good. Okay, hold on a second. Did we try to go to the ledge there, or were we trying to mix them up?
Confidently.
Okay. Okay.
Sort of. Never.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm gonna assume that that was just an accident. I know sometimes we can try to punish their end lag. Good wait. Okay, so you had everything right here. Up B. Up B. Up B, take center. Yep, 100%. You did. Okay. Got back on stage. Okay. Okay. So even here, something that you can do, and I'm sure you know this, but this is the only Smash game where Zelda is able to use Nehru's and she can drift after she inputs it. So something you can do is like to stall right here, you can just throw Nehru's out and just, as soon as you hit B, just continue to hold forward, immediately hit forward. And you'll just stop for a brief second, but then you'll drift forward here and you still have your double jump and you still have up B. This is actually something I really want you to start implementing, just because there have been times, I don't know if this has ever happened to you, but there have been times where if I have been hit and I lost my double jump, if I try to up B, I can't recover. But if I lose my double jump and as soon as I can out of hit stun, I end up doing Nehru's and drift forward, that can be all the difference in me actually making it back. It's something I've started doing a lot more recently, and it's like a win-win situation. If I lost my double jump, this is the best way for me to get back, because teleport alone isn't going to get me there. If I still have my double jump, fantastic. I'm at least delaying myself off stage so I have more invincibility when I grab the ledge, and I'm making sure that I'm not burning all of my resources. Because, you know, if you get hit after you use double jump, you don't have it, and so that's not a good situation. Okay, yeah, that like this is a huge no-no. You're like at 131%, you're on your last stock. Like, I know that you feel pressured to do it, but we have to dissect that. Like, why are we feeling so pressured to risk it all, you know? And that may reveal itself to us the more that we watch your videos, but it definitely seems like something that we can improve on. Okay, love that. Okay, see how you default. That was fantastic. That was so good. That was so, oh my God, yes. Do you see how, like, right here, like, you didn't get the dare, but you still threatened it. You threatened the phantom, you threatened the teleport cancel, you threatened the dare, and then you're fading back. So I'm pissed. That should have sweet spotted. They should have died. Like, you deserved that. You 100% deserved that kick. But regardless, you threw out down tilt, it covers the fair, and then you dash grab because he's like in the corner and he's at 99%. He's fucking scared. He's like, what is this bitch fucking doing? You literally broke their brain right here. You're breaking their brain. So nice throw. Inspire to get them to recover low. Okay, that's all right. You still played really, really well there. So I think we're going to end on that. I know I said that earlier, but I just think that if I go any longer, I'll keep you here all day. I just wanted to make sure that, you know, I know it's been a week since we did our last session, so I wanted to make sure that you had enough to take away from today.
Sure.
Yeah, so do you feel like today was helpful in kind of revealing some stuff to you?
I mean,
With like up tilt?
Walk. Going.
Yeah.
This placement with the straight down, like even I'm in training.
Yeah.
Automatically, I used to know behind the fence, just knowing to go.
Yeah, it's harder. It's a harder input, but like I said, I know you can do it, so that's why I wanted to make sure you knew.
Um,
I mean, that's okay. You'll have the video to look at, and you know, I just wanted to make sure that you had some stuff to take away from today. Sometimes we do VOD analysis, and sometimes, you know, I'll just go straight through the video, and then sometimes we'll do VOD analysis, and it's for reasons like this, to where we'll see, you know, oh, okay, I see that you're doing this. Let me go into training mode, and we can use what we see here in the video as an area to immediately give you a way to improve that. Right? Rather than me just saying, okay, you should have done this instead, or you know what I mean? So, yeah. So, okay, Chef. Well, do you have any like final questions or anything for me before I end the session for today?
Do have.
Yeah.
I'm kind of two things I do want to work on maybe.
Sure.
I really want to get comfortable.
Okay.
I feel like sometimes I'll go to like do a follow up. All of a sudden, you're on the other side of what. What? I don't know. I never can. Happens a lot where I'm like, oh shit.
Okay, sure. Yeah.
Another one. Tab 1 to down smash.
Oh, I can tell you. I can tell you exactly why that happens, because I've had that same issue many times. Let me figure out how to get his ass up here. Let me just go. Okay, all right, whatever. But anyway, please get on the stage. Oh my God. Okay, all right, cool. All right, let me get him out of shield here, and I will show you this real quick before we go, as long as you don't mind. I know I've kept you here for a long time, but
Fine.
okay. Okay, so get him to, I'm gonna say he's heavy, so I'm gonna say like 70. First of all, it depends on the character, but basically jab 1 is very quick, right? It's only 24 frames from start to finish, but it's a multi-hit move. And so when you hit this move, you actually have a lot more time to input down B than it feels. So what are down A for smash attack than it feels. So what you're doing is you're probably doing this, and then you're trying to hit down and A like I just did, but I'm doing the rest of the rapid jab. Oh God, we're here again. Okay. Here, okay. So what you have to do is you have to give yourself more time. You have more time than you think. You can let the whole animation basically finish. When you watch Zelda's hand, her hand should be going backwards. So like the animation here, she's like pulling her hand back after she's done. That's when you know, like, her hand starts to go back. But if you try to do it too soon, that's why the rapid jab comes out. Other thing you have to be very careful of, and what I would recommend is, if you have tilt stick on, which I'm sure you do, when you do down smash, you know how we do phantom like displacement by sliding from Y to B?
My buttons are weird. I don't even use those.
Oh, okay. Well, however you do it, however you do it. But is your attack button the A button or no?
Yeah.
Okay. So down smash is a little tricky because you know how you can charge attacks, right? By holding a button. So down smash is one of the very few smash attacks in the game where the charge frame is frame 2. So sometimes you can miss this window because if you do this and accidentally like hold it for just 1 frame longer than you're supposed to, which is easy to do because again, the charge frame is frame 2. So if you're holding the A button for 1 frame longer than you need to, you will miss this confirm. They'll be able to back roll out of it. So what I recommend is sliding on the A button. So when I do this, I hit the A button and I move from right to left, or sorry, from the left to the right. When I hit A, with like the edge of my thumb, so that way when I do the down smash, I'm letting off the button immediately by sliding, so I never accidentally charge it for longer like right there.
F1.
So like I'm sliding here, well, I can't really show you right now, but like what I'm doing is I'm hitting the A button normally, and then when I input down smash, when I hit the A button the second time, I'm just hitting it and I'm sliding it off. I think like when you want to do a short hop, you know how you just like tap the button? That's sort of what I'm doing with the A button here, but I'm sliding off of it, so that way I just never accidentally get a charged version of the smash attack. So do you see how here it says 7? I don't know why it said 15 there. I think it's because they spot dodged, but got this game. Let me turn off their spot dodge roll. Setting. Just turn those off. Right here it says 5. So that means I have 5 frames of advantage. So if I am 1 frame off, I will not get that down smash. So that's why that is important. Practice on input, slow it down.
I might do it. It's not.
So I don't know who you're doing it against. What character are you practicing?
Hero.
Hero, okay. And what percent are they set to?
Hero.
Okay, so here's the thing. I don't know if you know this. So this combo is not true. First of all, this combo used to be only true at like 120%. When Sora came out, they took 1 frame of end lag off of jab 1. Jab 1 used to be 25 total frames. Now it's 24. Because they did that, it increased the window for this combo exponentially. So that's why 1 frame can make all the difference. So this combo begins on most characters around 55 to 60%. It's really weird. It depends. On Mithra, for example, it starts at 62. On Pikachu, it starts at 55. On Simon, I'm doing it at 70 because he's a low percent character, but like, let's try 64. Oh, sorry, my bad. Gotta make sure that I set it. Seems like it's not true. 65. Seven. There we go. 66. Yeah. See, weird. I don't know why, but it starts for him at looks like 66. Yeah. And you'll notice this sometimes when you do.
Yeah, now I honestly thought it was true all the way.
No.
But now on
yeah.
doing it.
Yeah, it's just, yeah, good. It's just because like jab 1, like if we look at the frame advantage, see how it says 4. So like at 64%, it's not going to combo because it only gives me 4 frames of advantage, and down smash comes out on frame 5. So that's not enough frames. The other thing you'll notice is that sometimes there's this weird animation. Let me draw it on right here, where like the character will sometimes they will push their like leg. Watch Simon's legs. I'll try to point it out when I see it. Now, of course, it's not doing it. Okay, right there. Did you see that? Did you see that weird animation where he puts his like leg backwards? So that will happen rarely, but that happens. It's just a weird animation. Right there, it happened again. So down smash will whiff. So just keep that in mind that sometimes you will do this and it will whiff. So they will probably back roll. They're never going to try to hit you out of it, most likely, because they know that it's a true combo. But they don't lab percents like we do, so they don't know when it's true. So sometimes you can actually set stuff up like this. Like I've had somebody that likes to spot dodge out of this, so I did something like, and I killed them off of it just from like waiting for their spot dodge. Something else you can do is you can jab one. If they back roll out of that animation, you can grab. So, and then also jab to grab can be really, really potent as well. Just because like if they shield out of it, sometimes, yeah, because they're like, oh shit, the down smash is coming. So it's like a jab one is sort of like an RPS setup situation. It's like, okay, are you gonna jump? You know, okay, then like I'll jump fair. Okay, are you gonna roll behind me? Are you going to shield? And then, you know, once you get past that percentage and you're into like the true percentage, always just jab down smash, always, because it sets up for your Phantom, which is always going to be lovely. And then on top of that, it also forces tech. This is also really good to go for if you ever have Phantom set up, because like if you get Phantom, you could do something like
shield break.
So let's not get ahead of ourselves. It won't shield break. It won't shield break. But what's nice is that this is a great setup because you can use jab one. Like when Phantom's covering you, let's say you do Phantom and they do like a neutral get up, you can just run up and like jab one them and then still down smash and they'll get sent into the path of the Phantom anyway. So like if he's at like, let's say, I don't know, he's at 80%, for example, whatever. And let's say he just landed on the stage. I literally have enough time to just like, and like lock him into that. You can also like, if they land right in front of you, see, it like sets up perfectly. So yeah, so there's a lot to be had with it, you know. You could also do a mix up where you're like, I didn't mean to do that. That's not true, but it is definitely very mixy, because if they like back roll, you can just wait for the back roll. Yeah, because I'm literally throwing the knight like after the jab one, so knight is still coming out faster than it normally would. So you can do that out of down tilt too. I just discovered something. I never knew that. Wow. That's true. Oh
wow, yeah.
Well, it's a down tilt to Phantom, but it's down tilt to Phantom release. That's crazy.
That's great.
Because like normally you wait for the Phantom to go, but that's insane. Oh my god, look at us. We're shaping the meta. We're setting history. Oh my god. Anyway. Anyway, so yeah, other than that, if we've answered all your questions for today, I really appreciate your time. Thanks for hanging out, and you know, I just want to help you, you know, as much as I possibly can. And I do apologize if, you know, I was a little bit more focused today on pointing out like things that we can improve on rather than like highlighting the things that you do well. I think it's important to do both, and I'm sure you're fine, but I want to make sure that as your coach, I also lift you up. I don't want to bring you down. So I just wanted to spend today really kind of focusing more on like, okay, Jeff is a pretty good player. Let's get into the nitty gritty here. Let's dissect some real ways that we can improve. So that way now you can sort of like have a checklist of things you know you can work on even past this next session. So, all right.
I think that's what, I mean, positives are always great, but I definitely know what I'm doing wrong.
Right. You need more areas of opportunity than me being like, oh, that was so good. But like, I still want to point out your successes and help you celebrate them. Because like I said, the main thing that I know that you've improved on so far, 100% is defaulting back to center. And arguably, that's like one of the best, if not the best thing that you could have picked to fix. Because, you know, you could be like, okay, well, like, let me do my Phantoms better. And that could help you a little bit. But like defaulting back to center is a fundamental practice. And the fundamental practice is always going to trump the tech. So great job with that. So I would recommend making sure to get your next session set up. I am going to be out the 8th, the 9th, and the 10th. So if you want to do the 11th, that would work for me. I do know I have one other student that's booking on Sundays now. So if you can get yours booked first, that way you'll still guarantee your time slot. I'm also going to be shifting my availability. I'm going to be probably doing more like weekends and evenings. That shouldn't affect you if you're still cool with Sundays. I just want to make sure that you knew that. So weekends are usually always going to be good for you, right?
Sunday, Monday, Tuesday.
Okay, fantastic. So Sunday should.
Sunday. Okay.
Okay, great. Yeah. So go ahead and get that booked when you can. That way I can go ahead and get that taken care of. And then of course, you know, I don't want you to feel pressured by any means. So, you know, you don't have to, but you know, anytime I spend a little extra time, you know, if you happen to have any additional questions, you know, on anything that we went over, make sure that you reach out to me on Discord. You know, consider leaving a tip if you like today's session. Other than that, I will let you go. I hope that you have some good things that you can take away from today, and I wish you the best of luck in any locals you go to until the next time we see each other.
First, I'm actually gonna head to local now, so have you in mind there.
Okay. All right. Well, take it easy and just work on one thing at a time and save some replays and have fun. You're welcome. Bye. Okay, y'all. Well, I appreciate y'all being here for this session. But I'm going to end for today. I got to get to the gym before they close in like 30 minutes. And yeah, I might be back on later and just probably, you know, just play. I'm feeling very inspired, honestly, from this session. So yeah, I will talk to you guys later. Take it easy. Bye.